Hey everybody, this is Andrew from T is for Tech, and in today's video I'm taking a look at this smartwatch from a company called Kospet. That's Kospet. This is their Tank T2 smartwatch. This is the special edition, which just means it comes with a metal band as well as a silicone band. It is designed in the USA. It's a pretty beefy watch. It does have some mil-spec certifications on here for just rugged ability. It's waterproof. There's Bluetooth calling, always on display. Some other things that we'll talk about as we take a look at this. But yeah, basically what I'm going to be doing here is in this video just doing a quick unboxing, take a look at it. Also take a quick look at the Kospet Fit app. Right, so that's their fitness app that you will use with this. And then I'm going to record a subsequent video getting into a deeper dive, maybe comparing this against some additional other fitness bands or these kind of watches in this genre, I guess, of kind of this rugged kind of outdoor watch. And we'll do a deeper dive in that video. But again, this is just introducing this device, unboxing it, taking a look at the specs, going from there. So go ahead and open this up. So it comes in this box. I already took the plastic wrap off, but I haven't opened it yet. And the presentation is quite nice. It's kind of got this magnetic side flap and some information here about the military grade tests that they run it through. So they have a damp heat test, a shock test, low temperature test, high temperature test, vibration test, rain test, solar radiation, sand and dust, contamination by fluids, a fungus, a low pressure test, and a salt spray test. So they do a lot of testing on this device. So if you're looking for something that's rugged and, an outdoors sports watch, obviously you might be covered here. So go ahead and open the rest of this up. This kind of flips open. You do have a silicone band here. Comes in black with black hardware. So that looks nice. And then the watch is here, and that's pretty hefty duty. Also get a magnetic charger, right? So USB charger kind of sits in there. You can see the two little charging prongs. Comes with some extra links for the metal band, as well as a little device to help change or add the links, right? So there's like a little pusher here to push the pins out of the band so you can adjust it. You get some additional push pins for the pusher tool. And there's also a glass screen protector and some stuff to install that. And then you also have your user manual. So user manual here kind of goes over all the various aspects of the watch, how to set it up, some QR codes for downloading the app and whatnot. So it did have some plastic on the band. Now the band feels like it's made out of kind of like an aluminum material, so it's not super heavy like a stainless steel might be, although I'm not sure of the material this is made out of. Like I said, it does feel like an aluminum alloy. This does have kind of like a deployment style clasp with a lock, so you basically flip that open, then you got to pinch these little side pieces, and then it opens up. So that's really a high quality feeling band. And that's what the bezel looks like on the front. And again, this is all made out of metal. This is kind of like a space gray version. I think there's a lighter silver version, but this one is kind of like a dark space gray. And it looks really nice, but it's not super heavy, but it does have some weight to it, right? As you can see, it's kind of got these orangish side buttons there. It says rugged style, power, sport. There are, some various markings around the dial. And then on the back side, you can see the sensors there. Well, hopefully you can see. On the back side, there's some sensors. There's the charging pins, etc. But overall, this feels just really well made. I'm going to have to try this on. I guess one of the... oh, it's just too tight for me. Yeah, so this is just... I have pretty big wrists, and while I can get it on, it is a little tight. So I probably will have to add an additional link from that, the extra links that they gave for this to fit better on my wrist. So I will have to do that before I start wearing this and doing my testing, but probably if you have small to medium wrists, it might just fit out of the box and you won't have to add any links. But if you have big wrists, you probably will have to add some. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. So basically hold the power button. It shows here English. Scan the QR code to pair, which I will do here in a second. Oh, actually the QR code is probably just to get to the app. Now I already downloaded the Kospet Fit app on my iPhone, and I opened it up and scanned, and it shows the Tank T2. So basically it will show you the QR code for the app that you can download, and now it's paired. So that happened really pretty quick, I guess. Yeah, so we'll take a look at this in a second. But basically this is what the default face looks like. Actually, it looks pretty nice. It's got some orange and black and gray and white on it. But that's what the default face looks like. And then you navigate this like most other of these Android type watches, or these watches that are like this, where you can swipe from the top. You know, there's some settings here. You can change how the apps show up when you hit the app thing. So either in a list, kind of like an iPhone-esque grid, or a circle. You can change the brightness of the screen. I've got it all the way up here for the camera. That's what happens, and you can swipe over to the next page, and there's silent, lock, some more settings, vibrate, battery life, etc. So you can navigate those there. At the top, you can see there's like a phone icon, the battery percentage, that little link thing showing that it's linked to the phone. If you swipe up from the bottom, you can check your messages or your notifications. Here it says empty. So if you swipe from the left, you'll get all your apps, right? So you have daily activities, your call menu, heart rate, blood oxygen, workout, blood pressure, sleep, weather, music, messages. There's a breathing exercise app, alarm clock, voice assistant, SOS, toolbox, and settings. If you swipe from the right, it shows you kind of your like daily activity rings. And then you can swipe up and down to see like steps, weekly steps, you know, some of that sort of data. There, if you keep swiping, it will show your sleep data, heart rate data, blood oxygen data, blood pressure. We'll show the weather, and then you can add additional widgets that you can swipe through. So again, swiping in from the left, you get your app menu. If you swipe from the right, you can go through various activities and things like that. If you swipe from the top, you get your menu. If you swipe up from the bottom, you get your messages and notifications. Now there's also the sport button, which you can press and get to the sports modes. If you want to start a sport thing, right? So there's a bunch of stuff in here. I think they said there was 70. It also does auto recognition of various sports modes as well. So like things like common activities of walking and running and whatnot, it will, you know, the watch should automatically detect that and start a workout for you without having to actually press the workout on the watch. The app itself is pretty basic. It has their steps, sleep, heart rate, blood pressure, blood oxygen, and those are like the desktop widgets or the main dashboard widgets, which you can turn on and off. There's a sports tab, right, that has the outdoor running, outdoor cycle, swimming, badminton, tennis, morning hike, all the things show up there as well. So if you want to look at your sports data in the app, you can do that. Where the app would use GPS or location information to show, it should show you on a map, I guess, as well. So if you go out walking or running, you can get that here. There's some settings there as well on the sports. Just in general, there's a device tab, which you can change watch faces. So there's a bunch of different watch faces you can download to your device. You can, enable the Bluetooth calling, sync your contacts. There's some heart rate settings here for like max and min alerts. Basically, phone needs to be connected to the device. You can do SMS, sedentary reminder, various things, update the firmware, and then you can change your profile, which would be your fitness profile here. kind of putting in any goals that you might have, walk, step goals, your weight, and those sorts of things. So overall, at first glance, the app looks pretty good. I did notice that it was recently revamped or rewritten, so it should be a good experience according to some of the reviews I've read about it so far as well. So in the next video, when we do dive a little deeper into this, I will take a look at the app and some of the data coming out of the app once I'm using the device. So just to cover the specs on this again, it's a full metal body. It does have a metal strap if you get the special edition. Otherwise, it does have this silicone band. Has a Gorilla Glass display, 5 atmospheres, IP69K waterproof. Has a 1.43-inch AMOLED display with 466 by 466 resolution. Has a 410 milliamp hour pure cobalt battery. Like I said, smart sleep tracking, Bluetooth calling, the Kospet Fit app, 70 sports modes, and then there's a handful of sports modes that have smart recognition for them. Now on the display and the battery life here, according to the specs, and we'll have to confirm this, right? It says standby is 50 days. So if you're not really using it and it's just kind of sitting there, you can get 50 days of standby. But if you're using it daily, it says 10 to 15 days of battery if you're not using the always on display. Now, if you turn the always on display on, probably depending on the brightness, you'll get 2 to 3 days with that. The Bluetooth connection is a Bluetooth 5 Bluetooth low energy connection. Should take about 2 hours of charge. This will work with Android 5.1 and above and iOS 10 and above. It has 128 megabytes of memory built into it and comes in a bunch of different languages. So you can change the language of the device to be English, which is the default, but it also supports German, Korean, Spanish, Japanese, French, Russian, Arabic, Portuguese, Italian, Turkish, Bengali, simplified Chinese, and traditional Chinese. Yeah, and overall, it looks like a really nice device. At least it feels like a nice device. And this does come in around the $100 mark. I think it's a little bit more than that, but just based on what I've seen here compared to some other devices I've looked at on the channel in the past, it seems like a pretty good value if the quality of this is what it seems when I actually test it out. So overall, pretty cool. I will link to this in the description of the video if you want to check it out. Please consider subscribing and do stay tuned because I will be posting another video here in the coming weeks on this with a deeper dive into the functionality and the usage and my thoughts on how it performs. This is Andrew from T is for Tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.